You know, every once in a while, you come across a book that just feels like it's been pulled straight from your own life. Well, today, we're diving into a national bestseller that does exactly that. Can We Be Strangers Again isn't your typical love story. Oh no. It's really about loss, about heartbreak, and about those super blurry lines between friendship and love that we all have to navigate. So let's get into what makes this story so incredibly powerful. I mean, that question just hits you right in the chest, doesn't it? It gets right to the absolute heart of the novel. It's that feeling, and I think a lot of us have been there, where you just wish you could hit a reset button. Go back to a time before all the memories got so heavy. This one question right here, it sets the stage for a really raw and emotional journey.
Okay, so the story kicks off in a setting that is going to feel super familiar to so many of us, the very beginning of the pandemic. So forget about picturing a beautiful college campus. This story's world is all about Zoom classes, WhatsApp groups, and friendships that were literally built through a screen. It's a world where you can feel incredibly connected and totally lonely, sometimes all at once.
At the center of it all, we've got this classic trio, but with a very modern twist. First, there's Dev. He's our narrator. He's trying to get through his MBA, but honestly, the real curriculum is what's going on with his heart. He's totally drawn to Avantika, a science student who's kind of this intriguing outsider in his business class. And then there's Tanishka. She's Dev's best friend. You know, the one who tells you the stuff you need to hear, not just what you want to hear.
This timeline really maps out a romance that could only happen in our time, right? It's born completely from screens. It all starts out kind of abstract, just chats and video calls. But the real test, and you see it right there on the timeline, is what happens when they finally move to Bangalore, when these digital friends have to actually meet and see if the connection is real in the physical world. So, of course, once they're all finally on campus together, that digital simplicity just melts away and gets replaced by real-world complexity. Those nice, clean lines between friendship and love, they start to get really, really blurry. And the story starts to shift from that initial thrill of connection to the painful reality of secrets and a trust that's slowly starting to break. And here you can really see the two different worlds that Dev is desperately trying to juggle. On one side, with Avantika, it's this intense, secret romance, full of passion but also riddled with insecurity. Then, on the other side, you have Tanishka, his best friend. That's his safe space, the place for total, unfiltered honesty. She's his reality check. And he's trying to keep these two parts of his life completely separate, which, as you can imagine, creates a tension that just feels like it's about to snap. And the secrecy, that's the first huge red flag. Avantika's demand that they keep their relationship hidden from everyone, that plants the very first seeds of insecurity for Dev. And those little seeds really start to sprout when he finds out she's having these super long late-night calls with her ex, Mehul, all while swearing up and down that they're just friends. This line from the book just perfectly captures Dev's emotional breaking point. It's that gut-wrenching moment when all the trust he put in Avantika just completely shatters. The whole foundation of their relationship crumbles when he finds out the full truth about her and Mehul. Okay, so this betrayal, it's the absolute emotional core of the book. From here, the story dives deep into the aftermath. And we're not just talking about the one moment of heartbreak. We're talking about the slow, painful echo that it leaves behind long after the trust is gone. Wow. I mean, that line just gets you, right? It perfectly captures that deep, profound shock of being hurt by the one person you thought would always protect you. It's that completely disorienting feeling when your safe harbor suddenly turns into the storm itself. And this is a point that a lot of reviewers bring up, that the novel is this really powerful exploration of emotional cheating. It shows just how deep a betrayal can cut, even when nothing physical ever happens. Avantika's secret emotional intimacy with Mehul becomes this central wound, one that Dev just can't seem to figure out how to heal. You know, the book doesn't really portray heartbreak as some loud, dramatic soap opera moment. It's much more quiet, more internal. And this quote gets at that perfectly. It's the overthinking. It's replaying conversations in your head 1,000 times. It's that silent, gnawing pain that has you staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning. But here's the thing. This book doesn't just leave you drowning in the pain. It's also about the incredibly difficult but totally necessary journey of putting yourself back together. The focus shifts from the heartbreak itself to the long, messy, and ultimately empowering process of healing. According to reviewers, this right here is the novel's most powerful message. It basically lays out a 3-step roadmap for healing. It starts with that really hard first step, acceptance. Then, from there, it's all about turning your focus inward, rediscovering your own worth, focusing on self-love, and finally understanding that you can't make your happiness dependent on somebody else. And this idea becomes absolutely central to Dev's whole journey. The book really reframes what letting go means. It's not about giving up, it's about reclaiming yourself. His journey is all about realizing that to move forward, he first has to release his grip on a past that's basically holding him hostage. So it's pretty clear this story is an emotional roller coaster. But what is it about this specific book that made it a national bestseller? Why has it connected so deeply with so many young readers all over the country? Well, the verdict from readers is a little mixed, which you often see with really popular books. On one hand, people absolutely loved its relatability. I mean, the pandemic setting, the raw emotions, it all just feels real. But on the other hand, some critics point to a simpler writing style, saying it's a bit predictable and maybe lacks some literary depth. A few readers even said they felt an emotional disconnect and wanted to go even deeper with the characters. But despite those criticisms, the novel holds a very solid 4.0 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and that's from hundreds of reviews, and that really tells you something. For its target audience, young people trying to figure out love and loss, the book's emotional honesty and just how relatable it is, that's what truly matters. And that's what makes it such an impactful read for so many. And that brings us to the central question that the book kind of leaves you to think about. Does letting go actually mean erasing the past and becoming strangers again, like the title asks? Or is it more about finding a way to make peace with the memories, to accept the role someone played in your story, and to carry the lessons forward without all the weight? The novel really seems to suggest that true healing is found down that second path. So that's our deep dive into Can We Be Strangers Again? It's a story that really captures a very specific, yet totally universal experience of modern love and heartbreak. If you found this explainer interesting, please do us a huge favor and like, subscribe, and maybe share it with anyone who you think might appreciate this story. Thanks so much for watching.